All right, thanks, guys. BYU's at Wisconsin, 3:30 East, Camp Randall. The Badgers are the 23-point favorites in this one. No total as of yet. Vegas money's on Wisconsin at the moment. The Badgers open -21, now laying 23. Now, it's going to be a hot one at Camp Randall Stadium. 80 degrees by kickoff, 8-mile-an-hour wind blowing toward the south end zone. And if you take a look at the betting trends, they actually tend to favor the Cougars of BYU. Now, Brigham Young is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games, dating back the last football season. They've also successfully covered the point spread in 4 out of their last 5 matchups away from home. Wisconsin, on the other hand, has really struggled to get the job done with regard to the point spread themselves. Out of their last 9 games at home, they've only covered the number 3 times. And despite being virtually unbeatable at home with a 13-1 straight-up record in their last 14, they're 0-2 against the spread in their 2 games thus far in the season. Now, if you're interested in betting the total, also known as the over-under, the total has gone under in 4 out of Wisconsin's last 6 contests. The total has also gone under in 9 out of Brigham Young's last 12 games on the road as well. So historically, at least in the past couple of seasons, both of these teams' slow, methodical paces have really helped these totals stay under the line. So keep those betting trends in mind once we see a line for the over-under. If the number seems a little too high, you may want to think about leaning toward an underplay in this one. But all said and done, Wisconsin should win this one straight up and get the job done. But when it comes to the point spread, which is the number that gets you paid in Vegas, I'm going to go ahead and take the BYU Cougars plus 23, getting the job done against the spread. And with that said, welcome to the show. I got some lines and personal leans out for college football week 3. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check out my daily best play at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Packages begin at just $1.99 a month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser and just quickly check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you're a current patron of mine and you're watching this program right now, I just can't thank you enough. You make it all worth it. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at our Week 3 slate of college football lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And since I walked you through just a little bit of the betting lingo and terminology with my first pick, we're actually going to kick it up a notch and just use the gambling jargon a little bit more fluently, so it'll probably go a little faster. But let's go ahead and take a look at our next game, and that is going to be USF Illinois, 3:30 Soldier Field. The Bulls of South Florida are -9.5. No total as of yet. Money's on USF right now. Look for that spread to reach double digits at some point during the week. It'll be a hot one in Chicago this Saturday. Clear skies and 82 by kickoff. And if you take a look at the trends, I really think they favor the Bulls of Southern Florida in this matchup here. South Florida 17-2 in their last 19. The Fighting Illini are just 5-12 against the spread in their last 17 themselves. Illinois has also had some pretty tough years in their past couple of seasons, including dropping 10 out of their last 12 straight up. Now, this Illinois squad does have 2 wins on the current season, but they came at the expense of a weak Kent State team and an even weaker Western Illinois squad. Meanwhile, the Bulls of USF are coming off a 49-point performance at the expense of Georgia Tech. I'm not foreseeing a letdown game in this one. As a matter of fact, I think this is where the Bulls establish and elevate themselves as a potential juggernaut to crack the top 25 at some point this season. So with all of that in mind, I think this should be a pretty easy one for USF. Look for them to run away with this one in the second half. I'm going to go ahead, purchase the hook, and take the USF Battling Bulls -9, getting the job done against the number in this one. All right, next game, Texas San Antonio's at Kansas State, 4 o'clock kickoff at the Snyder Family Stadium. The The Wildcats of K-State are the 21-point favorites in this matchup here. UTSA is catching 10.50 on the money line. If you're putting K-State on upset alert, you're about to get yourself a little better than 10-1 on your money in that one. KSU is also laying $16 on the money line themselves. And speaking of money, the public bettors have been all over Kansas State in the early going here. The Cats open -20, now -21. No surprises there as Kansas State is taking money in the early rounds of betting. If you like K-State to get the job done in this one, you might want to book those wagers early. This number should only move toward the bad for you. And if you're liking the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio to at least cover the number, you might as well wait this one out because we'll probably see them catching at least 22 points by kickoff if these current betting trends continue. But regardless, it's going to be a hot one in Kansas this Saturday, 84 degrees by kickoff, clear skies, and an 8-mile-an-hour wind blowing toward the south end zone. And if you look at the trends, they really seem to fade this UTSA squad here. They're 0-5 ATS in their last 5 contests. They've also struggled to cover the number on the road, just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 away from home. Meanwhile, on the K-State side of things, they're 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games. They've also had pretty good success at Snyder Stadium over the past couple of years. They're 13-5 straight up in their last 18 at home. So with all those factors in mind, I think this number is pretty sharp, very appropriate. K-State's definitely better by at least 3 scores in this one. So all said and done, I'm going to go ahead and take Kansas State -21, getting the job done against the number. All right, next game, Alabama, Ole Miss, 7 o'clock, Hemingway. The Crimson Tide are the 20.5-point favorites in this one here. No total as of yet. Vegas money's actually on Ole Miss to cover that number here. They open plus 21.5, now catching just 20.5 points. Ole Miss is also catching 8.50 on the money line for an outright win. If you think the Rebels will get the job done in an outright upset of Alabama, you're going to get paid 8.5 to 1 on your money. Bama's laying $13 on the money line themselves. Look for them to be used in a lot of those multi-team money line parlays at most shops this weekend. All that said, though, the public bettors have been all over Ole Miss in the early days of betting, and you will probably see more money continue to pour in on the Rebels. Now, if you like Ole Miss to get the job done against the number, you may want to book that bet now. I see them at around plus 17 or 18 by kickoff if these betting trends continue. And if you like Alabama to get the job done against the spread, if you really like them to cover there, you may want to hang tight, and you'll probably get a little discount on the number at some point during the week. Regardless of all that, though, it's going to be a warm night in Mississippi this Saturday. Clear skies and 79 by kickoff. 4-mile-an-hour wind toward the north end zone expected in this one. And if you take a look at the betting trends for this matchup, I really think they favor the Rebels in this contest here. Ole Miss is 5-1 ATS in their last 6 ball games, 5-1 straight up in their last 6 as well. Ole Miss has played pretty well at home over the past couple of seasons as well, 18-7 straight up in their last 25 at Hemingway. The trend I like the most, though, are these head-to-head matchups between these two squads. Ole Miss is 9-4 ATS in their last 13 taking on the Crimson Tide. The Rebels have also gone 6-2 ATS in their last 8 taking on Alabama in Mississippi. Meanwhile, on the Bama side of things, these guys have struggled as of late to cover the number away from home. They've actually failed to cover the point spread in 4 out of their last 5 road games. Now, if you're interested in a total in this one, I'm not real sure where this line's going to open up at, but what I do know is that Bama games typically go over the total when they're away from home. The total's gone over the line in 8 out of Bama's last 12 games on the road. So don't be surprised if we see a high opening number on the total. Regardless of the scoring, though, I'm still just a little bit more focused on the number. I really do like this Ole Miss team to keep it within a few scores. I also think I'll buy the hook to regain that half a point. So all said and done, I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Ole Miss Rebels, plus 21, getting the job done against the spread in this one. All right, I'm going to slide to my next and final game for the show. It is going to be Marshall at South Carolina, 7:30 Bryce Stadium. The Gamecocks are the 12-point favorites in this one. No total posted as of yet. If you think Marshall will get the job done in the outright game, you're going to get about 4-1 on your money. Marshall's plus 385 on the money line to win this one outright. The Gamecocks of South Carolina are laying 485 for an outright win themselves. Now, when it comes to the public betting in this one, the public bettors have been all over the mighty thundering herd of Marshall in the early betting. Marshall opened plus 14, now just catching 12 points. So if you like Marshall to cover the number in this one, you better hope for some buyback on the handle, because if these betting trends continue, you might see them catching just about 10.5 or 11 by kickoff. And if you like South Carolina to cover the number, laying double digits, you're in about as good of a spot as you can be. You're already getting a discount on your number, and we should see this one drop at least another half a point or so by kickoff, or at least some point during this week. So regardless of all that, it is going to be a muggy one by kickoff, 86 degrees with a 50% chance of rain in the Palmetto State. 9-mile-an-hour wind expected toward the east boundary. Keep that in mind for special teams play. Now, when it comes to the trends, not a whole lot I'm going to get into in this one. I still think South Carolina is a pretty strong team. They actually played Georgia very tough for a full half of football this past Saturday. They're also typically very good at home, 7-2 straight up in their last 9 at Bryce Stadium. The Gamecocks have also won 7 of their last 10, dating back to last season. And on the other side of things, this Marshall team has historically struggled away from home, and in their past couple of seasons, they've only won 5 of 15 straight up on the road. So with all those trends in mind, I'm pretty comfortable with this number here. I got no problem laying 2 scores with South Carolina at home here. Give me the Gamecocks, minus 12, getting the job done against the spread in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just have to remind you to check out my daily best play at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Packages begin at just $1.99 a month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser and just quickly check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you're a current patron of mine and you're watching this program right now, I just can't thank you enough. You make it all worth it. And as always, thank you for watching today's program. I hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And please don't forget to check out my daily best play at patreon.com/BrockPage.